I did ask for drugs at some point.
I now want to go to China just to meet the Gandalfs.
It's a big mongoose and a massive penis.
It was a fully grown adult duck.
I did 5 plus 6.
And you got 11, which is so impressive.
This is bloody hell. This is a good day.
Commonwealth, the former empire, now Commonwealth. Is it relevant? Probably not. But why not give this part a shot? Stay tuned. Here comes Uncommonwealth, the podcast.
We're live.
Whoa.
Yay!
That was fantastic.
We're
That's
super
high.
live. I'm out of
You're
practice. Does the
super
audience
live.
know that? We're super live.
We're not just live, we are super live.
Super live.
I'm
super
alive.
duper, super
I
duper
gave
live.
birth and I'm still alive. That's
Woo!
an accomplishment.
That deserves a little something. I
I
that's how
think
it's
that
supposed to
deserves
happen,
more energetic announcement than that, though. I gave birth, and I am
I'd
still
like
alive.
to report that I am still alive.
Uncommonwealth.
I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't start with everyone's favorite segment, Two Truths and a Lie.
Here's Adam with 2 truths and a lie, and sometimes they're all lies.
So as always, I'll give you, I'll say 3 things, and then you have to tell me which 2 are true and which is a lie. So 2 truths and a lie, Mongoose Facts.
Oh yes,
Oh,
yes.
Because what else would could it possibly be?
Jimmy's hard again.
Okay, there's two rounds. We're gonna do 2 rounds, Mongoose Facts. So here are the first 3 facts. Fact 1, there are 34 species of mongoose, ranging from the dwarf mongoose at 7 inches long to the Egyptian mongoose, which is 2 feet long.
Ooh.
Fact 2, some
That's a
species
big
of
mongoose.
it's a big mongoose and a massive penis. Fact 2, some species of mongoose are very social and live in large groups called colonies, which can have as many as 50 members.
Mongoose
Fact
gang.
Members.
3, it is legal to have a pet mongoose in New Jersey, but not in New York.
Oh, that
Which
sounds
2 are true and which is a
I think
lie?
that third fact is true, but for ferrets, not mongooses. I think that's a ferret fact that you just snuck in on us, trying to do a whoopsie switcheroo. I think that first fact is a lie, Adam. I don't think you get 2-foot mongoose, nor do I think you get 7-inch mongoose. But I do think they hang out in gangs of a gang of 50. That's the mongoose gang Piers
Okay.
was talking about.
The colony. So you're
And
saying
New Jersey just forgot to outlaw them. I think that third fact is
What was
real.
the second fact?
they're very social and live in groups up to 50.
I think that's
They're called colonies. Mongoose.
first one's true, the third one's true, second one's a lie.
Interesting. Okay. The big reveal. The opposite of what Piers said.
Ah,
So the third one.
I should have gone with that. You didn't really
Oh.
ask me what I thought, but that's what I was saying. The Jersey.
Oh no! I
no,
inferred that.
I was saying the third one was right. No. Never mind. I'm
We are
tired.
pretty rusty at this.
Wait. We have to ask for the
We were
female
never
opinion
good at
as well.
Yeah, we-
What is happening?
Catherine, have you forgotten that we just kind of dismiss what you say?
Well, I thought I do apologize. I thought you had basically said that the third one was.
I think I agreed with one of the men and then never gave an opinion,
Okay.
which sounds right.
That sounds. All right.
Just cover
we
your
will-
bases. That's smart.
Okay, we'll go to round 2,
Okay.
and we'll make sure that Katherine can agree with the men
Yeah.
or something. Okay. So round 2, fact 1: mongoose are omnivores, which means they eat both meat and vegetation. Fact 2: mongooses breed during March to May and October to December, and have gestation periods of 42 to 105 days, and give birth to 1 to 4 offspring at a time. Fact 3: the mongoose's favorite Olympic sport is curling.
Oh, are there any other? They're mammals, aren't they? And
Yes.
do any other mammals have 2 reproductive cycles in a year?
Well, those are breeding cycles.
Mm.
Do any other mammals watch the Olympics? Oh yes, we do.
Well, I'll bet that's good. Whales,
Shit,
probably.
I forgot we're mammals.
Catherine recognizes in real time that humans are mammals.
I mean, I'll bet you humans have breeding periods that are where there's
Well,
more babies.
Yeah, after
conceived than other
blackouts
times.
or after Iceland beat England in the
Right.
World Cup.
yeah.
Or like the first 2 months of a global pandemic. And also humans' favorite sport is curling. So we're a
Again,
lot like the mongoose. is really-
So, yeah, and Adam, you're 7 inches and Piers is 2 feet. So, another similarity.
I'll take 7 inches. Woo, thanks, Timmy. That's just the tip.
Just the tip of the mongoose.
Just the tip of the mongoose. So, Katherine, what is your opinion on this as to which two are true and which is a lie?
Well, I hate responding when you've clearly
Ask me, but I
fucked us
hate
over.
responding.
Catherine, would you care to repeat all of them?
This is clearly one of those times that not just one is a lie, one is made up. Probably both the other ones are also lies. I don't know. I think you're just fucking with us and a shoot.
So, Katherine, if
Are we allowed
one
to
is
swear?
definitely made up, which one would you say is definitely made up? Just want to check we're all on the same page.
The gorilla.
Okay, good.
Meat and vegetation one for sure. So we're out of time on this segment, but I haven't heard Pierce's opinion.
Well, you didn't hear Catherine's last time, and then she got to claim she had the right answer. So I was hoping to do that.
Oh, you're trying to just wait?
Yeah.
Oh, that's clever. Okay, so I'm going to give the answer. The first two are true, and the curling one is
Nailed
probably
it.
also true, but I can't verify it.
Pierce got it right.
Piers got it right. That's
Good job, Pierce.
Pierce
You know,
also
hey.
looks like he knows he's next, which is shocking.
I'm not next. Catherine's
Piers-
next, isn't she?
Piers is next.
No,
I
you're
am?
next.
Piers is
Pier-
next.
Yeah. You're Pierce, and you're next.
I thought it was Catherine.
The podcast.
All right. Well, usually I come up with something fantastic and interesting, and I say it, and then no one discusses it, and it dies 12 seconds in. So we're going to do a bit of a around the world on Commonwealth baby themed segment, lightning round.
Hey,
And,
hang on.
we'll
Shouldn't we
just get
say
to it.
why that's baby themed? And Adam, weren't you supposed to do a baby or birth themed segment?
Yeah, the
And-
mongoose
and
is
then
breeding
went off onto
periods.
mongoose.
The mongoose is
Mongoose?
breeding period.
I love it. Adam's like, baby themed recording. Mongoose facts.
So approximately 11 weeks ago now, I gave birth to a baby, and
Glad it was a baby.
It'd be weird. I gave birth to a toaster. It was actually
We're
a
gonna
very
need
strange.
we're gonna need to jazz up that announcement a little bit.
Catherine, your
And
baby
we'll fix it in
announcements
post. We'll add some
Very-
enthusiasm.
Approximately 7
are
months.
very depressing. It was
The
a rough
baby
day.
was human.
Human
like Mark
baby.
Zuckerberg.
Human baby.
Approximately 11
Well-
weeks ago, I finally caught up on The Crown.
Oh, you watched the new season's out, right?
I'm loving it. We've actually.
I didn't
been
think
able
you'd have
watch a
time to
couple
watch it
Okay,
with a new
Catherine,
baby.
I want you to apply this enthusiasm you're using to describe The Crown. Take
We
that
can edit
energy.
it. We can edit it together. Just talk about the crown, and we'll put it right after you said you had a baby.
Which
Oh my
were
God,
you more
it was so
excited
exciting.
about?
I finally got to watch the baby.
I'm so excited for the new baby.
So excited for season. Baby born. We can splice it together, Adam. We're good. We're
Oh,
good.
yeah,
We've
yeah.
got it.
Pierce,
Pierce,
best
you can
segment you've ever
continue
done so
now.
far. This is the best. That around the world ruse was very tricky.
All right. We are doing a baby theme segment this week because one of our members, I'll let you work out on your own which member it was, had a baby. Approximately 6 weeks ago.
11 weeks?
11?
now.
11 weeks.
11 now. All right. So,
She just said it
babies.
30 seconds ago. Just that's the only reason I know.
No,
an
because
English,
that's when this episode will be released.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Oh,
I
you're
was
you're adding
calculating.
on. Oh,
You
I
did
see.
math in your
5
head?
weeks.
That's good.
Playing 4D chess.
It's 5 weeks today, but
Just like
11
a man. I did 5 plus 6.
And you got 11, which is so impressive.
We are Catherine. This is bloody hell. This is a good day. Yeah.
It's all coming up Millhouse.
Pierce, I'm sorry. Okay, I actually really am excited for Pierce's segment.
I really am only going to get one out at this rate. All right, I'm going with my best one. A 16-year-old English girl went to China with her family a few years ago and noticed that, the Chinese were very fascinated by Western culture, and they all insisted on giving, as well as their normal Chinese name, they gave their children a Western name. They would always give it, sort of English name, but there isn't a lot of access to Western culture to work out what the names are. They only have movies and TV and fashion and whatever that makes it through the sort of internet filters, so that a lot of babies were given sort of movie names like Gandalf or Cinderella, or
Oh my gosh.
she met a baby named
Nice.
Rolex.
Wow. Wow.
So after meeting the baby named Rolex, she wanted to do something to help Chinese people name their babies, more traditional English names. So she created this website that uses an algorithm that she came up with, where you pick qualities that you want the baby to have, and it will help you pick baby names. So she's now responsible for naming more than 400,000 babies in China.
Whoa.
Well, don't English people do the opposite, where they have like Catherine's your kid's name is Arthur, right? But his Chinese name is Kung Pao Chicken.
Piers, I'm upset because this is premised on the fact that Chinese parents naming their kids Gandalf is a bad thing. I think that's amazing. And also, if you plug in attributes you want into this website, like if you plug in wise and intelligent and charismatic leader, like Gandalf is the name you get. If you get Timothy,
who do you want to hang out with more? Timbo
Exactly.
or
Gandalf for sure.
I now want to go to China just to meet the Gandalfs.
There's more than one?
Presumably.
I guess there's a lot of babies.
Billions, probably.
A lot of babies being born in China.
I don't know if there's
All right.
billions of Gandalfs though.
All right. Two other very quick things. In India, a 6-month-old baby and a 3-year-old child were booked for not following COVID-19 quarantine regulations in their province. So they were taken in with their parents and formally booked into the whatever books they have to get in trouble.
Well said.
Wait, I'm confused.
So a baby went to jail in India because he wasn't wearing a mask and he was outside when they were in lockdown.
Oh,
And the last thing I'll wrap it up with is the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, is on video, is telling a baby who was crying that he's just jealous of his eyebrows because the baby had no eyebrows. They hadn't grown in yet.
So wait, the baby was jealous of Trudeau's eyebrows, or Trudeau doesn't
he was
want to have
he was
eyebrows?
crying. He was crying as Justin tried to say hi to him, and he said, "You're just jealous of my eyebrows."
Oh,
that is
boy.
a strange
Zing.
thing.
I
Really showed him.
And the baby was
really-
crying because he was in blackface. But that was
Oh.
Uncommon wealth.
Okay, so my segment, there's a baby aspect, but it won't immediately be apparent. It's gonna, I'll
That's what I did.
yeah, I'll wrap it up.
Okay.
All right, I want to tell you about one of Australia's greatest ever athletes. This guy is a historic. He's an icon, and he's just a bloody legend. He's a rower, or a sculler to be more precise, which is like a single boat, one person in a boat by themselves. His name is Henry
It's not called
Robert
mouldering?
Piers. It's not called mouldering.
Oh, X-Files
Very good.
reference.
that was
Nice.
for Adam.
His name is Bobby Piers. Now, he was a a sculler in the 1920s and the 1930s. He won back-to-back Olympic championships. And this is back when you competed in the Olympics. You weren't a professional. You were an amateur.
Right.
The Olympics were for amateurs. He won
I've seen
back-to-back
Chariots
Olympics.
of Fire, Jimmy. I know how the
Okay,
Olympics
you're
work.
right. But the weirdest thing when I was researching this guy, like he won back-to-back Olympics and then he went pro
Yeah.
to compete in the World Championships, where he won for 13 years straight. But okay, so his first ever Olympics, 1928, his first few races in his sculling, he was just like crushing the competition, winning by multiple boat lengths. This guy was dominating in the quarterfinals. And he's winning comfortably. He's a couple of boat lengths ahead. And then all of a sudden, all the spectators start screaming, a panicked kind of scream. So he turned around and there was a duck with a bunch of ducklings that had swum into his lane. So he stopped rowing, letting them pass. And so his competitor kept rowing and got like a huge lead on this guy.
But he still beat him.
He still beat him. He went on to win.
It's like Chariots of Fire when he falls.
Exactly,
And then he gets back up and wins.
Yep,
And the
yeah.
music.
So
Bum,
he
bum,
lit-
bum, bum.
They should make a Chariots of Fire sequel with the ducks.
I agree. So he legit stopped rowing to allow, because he could have basically plowed through them.
That's what
But he
most people would have
stopped.
probably done.
If you're in the Olympic quarterfinals, most people would have just kept on going. So he let the ducks go, and then he, in the last 1,000 meters, caught up and won. He then went on to win the whole Olympics and shattered the record by 30 seconds.
Wow.
So
Really,
that's
was it
the
the-
baby. That's the baby part of this.
No, that is not the baby part of it.
Oh, I forgot about the baby part.
That's foreplay to the baby.
You guys are the worst at this. Piers was good.
Here's the baby component. So this guy clearly is like a killer
Component.
athlete, But his family, the pedigree of athleticism in his family. I need to refer to my notes to read this out. So his grandfather was also an Australian sculling champion. His father was a sculling champion. One of his aunts swam on the Australian team. And one of his uncles was a rugby champion. One of his cousins went to the Olympics 3 times. Another his cousin played rugby for Australia. So it's all crazy, but I think this is the greatest feat of athleticism in his whole family. And this is the baby aspect. His grandmother gave birth to 5 sons and 7 daughters. 12 kids she popped out.
And they all survived to adulthood?
I mean, wow.
Sorry.
Bloody dark question there, Piers.
It's the 20s,
No, back then it was like a 50-50 thing.
I don't know if it was that bad.
This actually ties in
more
with my
numbers out of
segment.
Katherine. That's impressive.
Maybe she's taking the Adam approach. Just throws
but the ducks lived.
The ducks lived.
The
All
ducks
of
made it. That's
all
confirmed.
of Bobby Piers's aunts and uncles, they all died in childhood. But
also, when you talk about the sports pedigree of his family, I mean, we are talking about the Australian Olympic team here.
Fuck off. This guy was a world champion for like a decade and a half.
Of Australia.
No, of the world. It's not like the World Series of baseball when it's a bloody domestic competition. He was the world champion.
No, but you're talking about all his relatives being like on the Australian swimming team and all that stuff.
But half of them went to the Olympics.
Yeah, but it was
right for Australia. Like Jamaica had a bobsled team. That's what I'm saying.
The podcast.
I actually thought we weren't just doing baby theme. I thought we were doing birth themed.
Right.
Because I birthed a child, and you know what? I actually think that means I can talk about it ad nauseum. So I didn't take drugs. We did it at home, and I wanted to Google some of the like royal traditions of giving birth, and some very interesting things.
It was featured in an episode of The Crown.
Yes. I did ask for drugs at some point. I was like, I'll take anything. And if they're like, we're not at a hospital, I was like, give me anything.
Was it like, it wasn't like one of those water things where they bring in a tub and stuff, was it?
I did try to do it in the tub, but we ended up having to get me out because the baby was just not coming out that way. So I gave.
Was the tub full of water, or was it just to keep everything contained?
It was full of water.
Okay, I don't know. There's like lots of stuff.
Adam, I don't think you know how to have baths.
Everything
empty bath, soaping himself. Like, this doesn't feel right.
No. It's easier to clean up afterwards. I assume there's lots of goop.
He has all the stuff for labor, though. He doesn't have any water in there. So no, I do have to say it is like a murder scene after you give birth, but they clean it all up for you. Anyway,
there you go. That's the snippet we put in at the start.
The royal elves, who cleans it up?
The midwives. Because you're kind of like in shock, and you have at least 3.
Did you go to the hospital after the baby's born?
Everyone knows midwives Roman packs.
You never have to leave. You never have to leave your in colonies.
Like Mongoose, up to
sometimes
50
up to 50. Yeah.
Safety in numbers as a midwife.
You never left your home. That's impressive.
No, that's what's nice about it. But that might be the only thing that's nice about it. No, it was difficult, but but you know, obviously for a long time there was no pain relief in birth, in labor, and Queen Victoria was one of the first to pioneer it because she found out about the invention of chloroform. So
how did she find out? Is this a good or a bad story, Katherine?
That's not really the story. It's the way I word things confuses it. She found out about the invention of the anesthetic powers of like chloroform, and in 1847 she had given birth already to 7 children. Whoa. And on her 8th child, she ended up having 9. She spent 17 years of her life either nursing or pregnant. Queen Victoria. So you can see why you'd want pain relief in labor if you're doing it that often.
Jeez.
And she found out about chloroform, and she was just like arguing with her physicians. But back then they were very against pain relief. They thought it would they thought it was kind of anti-God, like it wasn't the way it was like intended to be. And they also thought it would slow labor to the point of hurting the mother or the baby. But all that ended up not being true. So she got chloroform. She was allowed to inhale chloroform from a handkerchief for 53 minutes. And she ended up saying, I really like this quote.
That sounds like you get brain damage for something.
Yeah,
like
that seems like a lot of chloroform.
She said, blessed chloroform, soothing, quieting, and delightful beyond measure. Should have done that in my English accent.
Or your French Italian.
Blessed chloroform.
Blessed chloroform.
Oh, it's so soothing.
But because Queen Victoria pushed for it for herself, normal people eventually were able to use chloroform.
Oh. So it was like Louis XIV and the syphilis with the wigs.
Yes.
It became
it became a thing.
Interesting that's top of mind for you, Piers.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's kind of how pain relief started.
I assume they would have tried it on like a peasant first, though. There's no way Queen Vic would have been the guinea pig.
Phase 3 study on the peasants.
Yeah, she's
her doctors did not want to give it to her, and she really had to, because she was the queen. At some point, you say yes to the queen, and when it went well for the next 2 births, it just started to be given more to everyone else. And eventually,
how many children did she have in the end?
He had 9.
Wow.
And one of them was Arthur, which is the name of my son. Oh, and she also, I just like this, she called pregnancy the Schattenscheid, which is the shadow side of marriage, and told her daughter that childbirth is a complete violence to all one's feelings of propriety, which God knows receive a shock enough in marriage alone. So she was actually quite progressive.
That's a cool point, yeah.
She was super like, well, if you spend that much of your life pregnant,
how big were her feet? That would be.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, if you tell
her the original Hobbit.
Like the Empire, we're almost done. We hope that you've had lots of fun. Was it relevant? Probably not. But thanks for giving this part a shot. Stay tuned for the end of Uncommon Wealth, the podcast. Stay tuned for Uncommon Takes.
I researched something completely related to birth because I thought that's what we were doing. But that's
I didn't know that we didn't officially. No one confirmed my suggestion. That's why I.
Oh yeah,
I responded actually.
I didn't actually know we were doing that. I on the fly adjusted to make it baby.
No, you didn't.
I did. I did not know.
Ducks never happened. He made that up.
It was a fully grown adult duck. There were no ducklings.
The podcast.
That's kind of how pain relief started, and because it worked for her, and they were so worried it wouldn't. The physicians stopped arguing against midwives. Can I just say midwives?
Uncommon Wealth, the podcast.